Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Season 3 of the World with Nate podcast. I'm your host, Nate Allison. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by sponsors Cool Fit. Nick Cool is a holistic life guru. I'm currently taking his class. If you're interested in it, check it out via the website and let Nick know that I sent you. Today, I wanted to have a local person in to talk a little bit about the journey that she's on. This is Blake Renaud. She started an app with her husband called PicklePlay. What an app. I mean, being in the center of the United States and thinking creating an app to access pickleball in Iowa. What did that look like? How did it start, your journey?
Yeah. Well, without boring you too much, it's a long story, but like I was just sharing, I was looking for an opportunity to get back in the work field, and I have a background in business management and marketing, and wanted something that was flexible. So it was pre-COVID. I wanted something that I could work from home, something that I was passionate about and enjoyed. And so we were checking into developing a few different apps, actually. We're pretty competitive, and my husband loves sports, and every time we travel, he was dragging me along to basketball courts. I mean, literally in New York City, we went all over the place, even to like Rucker Park and
cool.
like all over. And he would play pickup basketball games, and he's like, man, there's got to be a better way to connect with players.
Thinking
and
that
getting,
while he's playing.
and like there's got to be some better resources. Well, the basketball world is so huge, as you know, and it would take a lot to get involved in that. But in the meantime, his business partner taught him how to play pickleball.
Okay.
So
what time period was this? Do you remember?
Oh, boy.
Or ish?
Yeah,
pre-COVID?
it was about 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, pre-COVID. Yep. And so he started playing pickleball and started getting pretty competitive.
Okay.
And we kind of were like, we knew that Brandon had played pickleball for years and kind of thought it was a dorky sport. And
I had those same feelings when I heard about pickleball.
Yeah, we're like, who would play this? And we're like, man, he drives like a long ways to just go play with some competitive games. And we're like, how is this even a competitive sport, really?
Yeah.
So we didn't really think much of it, but Alex started playing more and more. And
Now Alex is your husband?
Alex is my husband, yep. And he's very, very competitive.
Okay.
So they would get these intense pickleball games and be driving around to hook up with other players in different cities that were a similar skill level.
Okay, yeah.
So before we knew it, he's like, you got to learn how to play. So he taught me how to play. We had little kids at the time. Like, they're hitting the ball back and forth.
So learning, something that I've read after speaking, I didn't know a lick about pickleball until I met Cam.
Yes.
And you're familiar with Cam.
Yes.
Now he's one of your sponsored athletes.
Yep.
Which is super cool.
Yep.
But the one thing that I read that was constant was the accessibility and how easy it is to grasp and learn and play.
Yeah.
You would share that?
Yeah. So, I mean, pretty soon we're looking around and we're like, our kids can play, we can play, the older demographic plays. I mean, literally anyone can play pickleball.
Yeah.
Now, like mastering it and becoming a pro like
Different.
Cam, I mean, that's a whole nother level, right? And even to this day, I love to play, but I play pretty socially and casually.
Yeah.
But that's what we loved about pickleball. And we're like, look at all the people it brings together. It's a time of division in our country at times and things. And I mean, you have all different political and demographic, all these backgrounds coming together and just loving pickleball. And it's such a community sport. And people are generally pretty welcoming. So pretty soon when we traveled, it's so easy to pack your pickleball bags. I mean, it's a pickleball, but it's essentially similar to like a wiffle ball.
Yeah, so small and it doesn't take much. Right?
Yeah, and the paddles are lightweight and they can go right in your suitcase and, and so, or even in your car or whatever. So, yeah, all of a sudden we're like, man, this sport is pretty cool. And we're trying to now, where do we play?
Yeah.
Cedar Falls has amazing dedicated pickleball courts, which is phenomenal, and they're getting more. Pretty rare for a town our size.
Yeah.
But
and in the middle, I mean, they're only accessible months out of the year, being that we have winter and everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this sport, I didn't know anything about it. And then pretty soon when I had that episode with Cam, everybody's like, oh, I play pickleball. It's like, shit, why didn't I get invited to the party?
Yeah. I mean, it is. Everybody plays pickleball. So, I mean, you can really, there's all different skill levels.
Yeah.
And anybody can come play and just get some good exercise, or they can play and be very competitive and travel and play tournaments. And but really what we realized is there's some major like pain points in the sport, especially because it is a newer sport. It's the fastest growing sport in America.
Yeah, heck yeah, for like the last 4 years now.
Yeah. And I mean, new studies keep popping up, so we're having a hard time knowing which ones are most accurate. But I mean, the last one said over 48 million players played at least once last year.
Wow. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. So
Yeah.
in the United States, and it's growing in other countries too. So anyway, so we're like, there's not very good software. There's no good mobile app for pickleball. So we just did a complete shift. Our entire focus switched from other sports to only pickleball.
Okay.
And we need to help people find where to play, find who to play with in their skill level. And then if there's clubs or groups, even groups of friends, like there's so many long text message threads and group me's and Facebook pages.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Prior to the app coming along.
Yeah, and so we're like, these people need to know when and where people are playing.
Yeah.
So you get WhatsApps and all these long group messaging platforms, which is what most people use right now, and it turns into just chaos.
You lose where and when you're supposed to even be playing.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be there tomorrow. When was it? How?
Yeah,
I can see where
so
that
there's
would be a
set
mess.
times if you're a part of a club or group, but then there's also even just friend groups. So my friend group that I play with, I make them use the app, and we just say, hey, we're playing Monday night. Are you in or are you out? And you can RSVP. And so we're kind of pulling in a lot of different features on the app, but really just want to have a free resource to help develop the sport and help it grow.
Heck yeah. So you wanted to get back into the workforce after you had the kids in school, and then what did that look like?
Yeah, so we had 3 kids at the time, and they were all in at least like most day preschool and up. And I had taken a couple years off, had done a few things in the past, and was just home for a couple years.
Focusing on
the
those
kids.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, 3 little kids, boom, boom, boom. So
I
our
can
life
relate.
was, it was crazy. And, someone was in school, and then someone was in preschool, and just the drop-offs and pickups and everything was, I just needed to be home.
Keeps you so busy, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it was good, but I thought, hey, the kids are going to be in school most of the day. What am I going to utilize my time best with? And it was something that I was looking at. What can I do?
Yeah.
I have a background in, again, business management, marketing, and wanted to do something that I thought I would enjoy. So
Heck yeah.
We had this idea. It was going to be this part-time thing that I would do here and there while the kids were in school, and then started developing the app.
So when you say developing the app, I am like so untech savvy. Yeah. Are you guys tech savvy? Did you have friends? How do you you're like, oh, let's create an app. I don't even know what the next step for that looks like.
Yeah. So we didn't either.
Yes, which is what I love to hear. Okay.
Yeah. We had no clue. We knew it was a great idea.
It's an amazing idea.
Yeah, we felt the pain points ourselves. So we were just really passionate that we had a great idea and that we needed to do it one way or another. Because someone was going to, and we could really help the pickleball community. So it went from going to be a part-time thing that I would do here and there to this is a lot of work and a lot harder than we ever imagined. It's been a very difficult journey for us.
What are some things you encounter that are like, oh man, I never expected this?
Yeah. So we started developing, finally found a developer. That's very, very hard to do in the first place.
I can imagine. And where we're at geographically. Being in the middle of Iowa.
Yeah. So, the good thing is you can work with anyone anywhere in the world, right?
Very true.
With the technology that we have, So our first development team was in India.
Okay.
So that's the best, most cost-effective way when you're, starting up. It was, let's just see if we're on to something. Like, let's confirm what we're doing. We're going to build this app, and it's going to be great. And so the first year, it took months to just design, to lots of brainstorming, working with a local friend actually to help with like our logos and the UX design. And we use a lot of local businesses, which is pretty cool.
Hell yeah, very cool.
Yeah, so we actually use a lot of people here locally, but then we had to go offshore for the actual development. To keep it cost effective. Yeah, yep. And so that was an 11.5-hour time zone difference. Oh. So all of our meetings were very, very late at night or very, very early in the morning. And with 3 little kids and a crazy schedule, it was just getting really difficult.
I can imagine.
Then the quality of development was fine, but it wasn't great. And whatever we put our name on, we want it to be really, really good.
I love that.
We ran into some crashing issues, some bugs, just some ongoing things that we're at a pretty crucial point. We either need to find a new development team that's going to be better hours-wise and then better quality long-term, or, which nothing against them because we're still friends with them. Like,
Absolutely.
we love the people that we worked with over there. But
you just were ready for a new direction.
We just needed, to switch gears. And so found our lead developers now in Florida.
Very cool.
So only 1 hour time zone difference.
It makes it manageable.
Yep. So switched to him, and they honestly rebuilt our entire app. So that was very, very challenging. Rebuilt from scratch. And then got pregnant with surprise baby number 4.
Heck
and I'm like,
why wouldn't you want to throw something else into the mix?
So here I'm like losing my mind, going crazy. And then we have our 4th daughter.
Now, your husband, he works full-time doing something separate.
Yep.
And at this time, you were doing the app, probably working full-time and having another baby. Is that fair to say?
Yep.
I can definitely relate. You don't anticipate it to be that much work.
Yeah.
But holy cow, right?
Yeah. It's a lot. So that's just, she's the sweetest. I'm so thankful. She's the sweetest, happiest baby. I'm so grateful. But and she's so fun to have. But it just has been, okay, now I'm working full-time from home and just managing the older kids, and they're heavily involved in sports, and so she just rides along.
Heck yeah.
I mean, she was 3 weeks old, and we went out to California for a pickleball tournament, a big event that we had to be at in person. And
very cool.
Just
what experiences, though?
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, I think of all the times that I have the ability to bring my children to work, whether it's days off school or my youngest daughter doesn't have a sitter, and I can just bring her in and get the work done. And then I think about, she hears me having business conversations with business people and things that she'd never have access to before. And that's a pretty cool experience I think we get to give our kids. Yeah,
and most people are I'm so grateful because most people are
open.
So...
Nobody cares.
I bring her, she hops on Zoom calls every week with me. Yeah. And I mean, if she gets really fussy, honestly, I'll say, hey, I'm sorry, we got to cut this short because this isn't working. But I have part-time childcare, and I'm so grateful for them, but that doesn't always line up when other people can meet with me. And Fridays, we kind of just get by on Fridays together.
I like that.
So if I try to plan my most important meetings during nap times when I don't have childcare, and then do the rest, just takes me longer than than it normally would. But we're
getting it done, right?
Yeah, eventually we get it done. Heck and people actually really love, like when I bring her on a call, they get excited.
Hell yeah.
They're pretty open.
People like kids, yeah.
So.
And especially well-behaved good ones, It's easy. Sometimes that doesn't work out.
Yeah. I'm like, how many little puffs can I feed her?
I love it. Do you have any issues balancing, turning off, or how do you do that? Because sometimes that stuff can leak over, and especially when you care about it so deeply and it's your baby. This is another child in your home, PicklePlay app.
I'm still trying to figure it out, to be honest. Yeah. Like, it carries over a lot. Just because we're a small business and still growing, still trying to monetize, still, I have a lot of responsibility. So there's no really days off because there just isn't.
Right.
So,
Pickleball app never turns off.
It doesn't, And so if the app crashes or people are having issues or, I'm the primary customer service. Yeah. I have some help, but not much.
Not a team.
So then I have to connect with our development team. And I mean, it's usually at night or the weekend or, it's usually terrible times when something goes wrong. But, I'm still figuring that out, trying to take a deep breath and turn off when I can and turn it on when I need to. And, the kids, my husband and kids see all sides of me that, that are just normal life, just trying just trying my best to separate it I can. But
So the kids, how do they enjoy being a part of the pickleball world now? You said you traveled. You got to travel. You travel quite a bit? Yeah.
So we've traveled less now that having our 4th.
Right.
And honestly, we got into the sport at such an early stage of their, the beginnings of the pro tours and things that are still growing and developing. But so it's pretty cost effective when we first came in to, let's go to Atlanta and pop up a tent and have a tournament or, have a booth at the tournament and have small commercials and things air. And so, yeah, we brought the kids to all the tournaments.
Very
so
cool.
they've got to meet all the top pros, got all their autographs. Yeah, there's not a ton of kids at these events.
Yeah.
So it's fun because they can run around and play and really meet the best of the best in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sport is so new that the top pros are pretty accessible.
That's awesome.
It's getting, they're getting more of their like private tents and private areas, and it's growing enough where it's getting harder, but it's still pretty cool. And everyone's really, really nice. So yeah, our kids.
That's awesome to hear.
Kind of when we started, we were like, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this as a family. So does it cost us 5 times more when we travel with all of us? Yes.
Yeah.
We could just try to leave them and go. And sometimes we have to, but as much as we can, we want to, so we've been blessed and been very grateful to go to some pretty cool places, and they've got to see some really neat.
What ranks top in the bucket list for places or experiences?
Yeah, last summer I was pretty pregnant, but we went to New York City.
Okay.
And did subways to and from out to the tennis center, and got to see a Broadway show, and did the 9/11 museums and the Ellis Island, and
experience
that
all
was
in New York.
that was a really neat experience. Yeah, the kids loved it. We loved it. We love living in Iowa, but it's fun to travel, and New York is obviously very different than here.
Yeah.
So
Heck yeah, very different.
I would say been a few places in California that have been just beautiful and fun to visit too.
So does it tend to be big cities where these big events are being held now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. California, Florida.
Awesome weather.
Arizona.
Most of the time.
It's typically somewhere with good weather and a large enough population to draw people in to make the tournament worth it.
Yeah. So fans and spectators, it's become that.
It's growing. They're getting there.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a young sport.
It's still a young sport. Yeah.
And it's wild to talk about it now and to think where it's going to go. Of how popular it is.
It's slowly growing more viewership, more people in. Right now, honestly, it's primarily people that have a direct connection with a player, maybe, because it'll be a pro and an amateur tournament.
Gotcha.
And so if you're, a relative or friend is playing, it's typically someone that knows someone, but we're starting to see more and more just spectators coming.
Heck yeah. So. And some of the big-time personalities and stuff that are getting associated with pickleball. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's really
fun to get involved.
Yeah.
So when you guys go to these events, you have a tent set up, you're advertising the PicklePlay app. Hey, this is a community for pickleball players to get together and play. You have your kids there hanging out.
Yeah.
What does that look like? People are coming and getting free merch, or you're signing them up for the
app? So we have
app?
our water bottle stickers.
Yeah, speaking of merch, you came
everybody loves
with
our water bottle
awesome
stickers.
Swag bag for me with some stickers.
So
Thank you so much.
We get all that locally, like here too. And
very cool.
But yeah, we typically sell like shirts and hats, sweat towels and things just to help cover the cost. I mean, we don't make a whole lot of these things, right? A couple bucks here and there.
Can relate to that as well.
But at the last one of the tournaments we went to in August, we're like, I don't even want to mess with selling stuff. Like, let's hand out free T-shirts and just see what happens. People loved it. We got many people coming to our booth, and the T-shirts were like $11 a piece, so we had to weigh like. But we really made sure that they download the app and asked them to share it with their community.
Heck yeah.
We're like, hey, will you tell 10 friends to download PicklePlay? So things like that. That's worth the $10 shirt for us. So sometimes we sell stuff. Sometimes if we do a more basic, cheaper items, we'll give it away.
Very cool.
Did some can koozies and just really trying to draw people in. Hey, we have a free app for pickleball players.
Get people to know.
Yeah, download it, check it out, give us your feedback. We're very open and honest that this is a long-term plan for us, and it's free. So we have long-term plans. We're not trying to get anything from you off the day,
Absolutely, I understand that.
Yeah, but then also we're pretty honest about, hey, we're still growing, we're still developing. It's not going to be a perfect app, but we want to hear your feedback. We want to hear what you want.
So what sort of things have you developed inside of the app? You sponsor pickleball athletes. Talk about that, how that came about, what it looks like for you.
Yeah, so when we first started, there's some pretty big forums on Facebook and online where pickleball players, kind of the largest communities in pickleball right now are Facebook forums, to be honest. And we thought, okay, we're going to post our free app. It's a free app, so people are going to love it. They're going to download it. But reality is even a Facebook group, and rightfully so, is a business, essentially. And so we didn't realize that. So we thought, we're going to get our name out so easily on these online platforms. But those are actually like paid advertising spots.
Yeah. You get
and the
so
world
much
know
for
that.
free. Yeah.
I mean, people are on there like, this is such a great, and they are, honestly, like, they're great communities, and it makes sense. They're businesses, though. So
absolutely.
So nothing wrong with it, but we're like, well, now what are we going to do? Because we thought we could just go post on this free forum that
everybody
we have a
would
free
see
app,
it.
and everyone's going to see it. And we are in discussion with some forums and looking at what those partnerships look like. So not devaluing any of that. Like, they're good opportunities still that we're exploring.
Absolutely.
But when you're a startup business and you don't have revenue.
With $0.
We quickly shifted who can we partner with and who can help get exposure. So we started looking at who's people that have a large or large-ish following. Because pickleball is still so new. But what players, what influencers, what people are going to be out in their communities, instructors.
I love that. They can,
So those are kind of our paid partnerships, but they're helping us because they see our vision, and they're trying to help share with their community.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
heck yeah. And Cam,
Cam,
prior guest of the podcast, Cam Luring.
Yeah, so Cam, he trained, I guess trains. I don't know if that's the best word. He plays regularly with my husband and a couple guys.
Hell
and
yeah.
Cam is great. And so we were like, hey, we can't be your huge sponsor, but we'd love to help be a small part of your journey because we saw how good he was and believe in him, and see a lot of potential for him in the future.
Yeah.
So we're like, hey, if we can just we want to help you, even if it's in a small little way. So he reps PicklePlay. He has
sweet,
us on. Usually his left chest or his shoulder with when he serves. It's kind of cool because if you look on the live streams, our logo's pretty present.
It's very cool. And the fact that he's a Iowa guy, spends his time in the Cedar Valley, and you are an Iowa-based app in the Cedar Valley. I think it's super fucking cool.
Yeah. It's fun. And we work with other players. I mean, Tyson McGuffin, he's like one of the top players in the world.
Who is somebody who I was familiar with.
He's awesome. He's been great. So he helps promote us at all of his. He has high-level camps around the country. Highly recommend them. But he promotes us at all of his camps, some social media exposure.
Yeah.
I was on his podcast.
Heck yeah.
So and then we have a few other people too. So.
Heck yeah. So the whole keeping the app in Iowa, keeping it local, is that important to you? You guys want to ride this thing out. You want to do the pickleball app. That's your vision. Yeah, so that's my vision. I mean, I would love to be a part of a larger team eventually. Yeah. I mean, long term, it's impossible to do it on your own forever. Yeah, it's too much work. So I foresee potential collaboration or even a acquirement someday, but I would love to be a part of it, so we're kind of open to what that looks like as we continue to build and grow. I know I personally long term, we'll either have to grow my own team or join a larger team. So we're kind of in that spot right now where we have some pretty good growth and a good database and a smooth working product. So now we're really planning what does the next steps look like for PicklePlay. Is it so we're in discussion with a few people now and just seeing what that looks like. That's super exciting. Now, pickleball, what do you guys see? Is it more a United States-based thing, or is it worldwide, or what's that look like? So it's huge in the United States. It's, I mean, that's the biggest fan base. But what's exciting is it is growing very rapidly in the UK. So we work with a player in the UK. Very cool. And he's helping us grow over there. We're working with people in Canada. There's a Pickle Fest going on in Canada in the next week or so, and we're kind of being a small part of that. Work with someone in India. So those 3 countries are growing very rapidly. Spain, Australia is growing very rapidly. And what do people need to know when they start playing pickleball? Where to meet up and play pickleball. Yeah. So we're really just trying to explore what does that look like in other countries. And really the only thing that we can't do in other countries today would be collect payment for events. So in the United States, you can set up an account and
host a little round robin or a clinic or something
cool.
and collect payment.
Yeah. Very cool.
But in other countries, there has to be enough people.
Before that's allowed?
Well, there has to be enough people that it's worth like the taxes and all the legal side of things.
The stuff that you had no idea that you were getting into.
Yeah, the stuff that we had no idea. But yeah, so anyways, long term, the app is written in English, works worldwide. We have thousands of users in other countries, but I would say 95% of our users are in the United States.
Very cool. Yeah. Very cool. Now, balancing all this and being so busy and being a mom, do you ever have issues with your mental health? Does it ever dip and wane? How do you stay high all the time? You have to provide a lot of support to a lot of people, not even talking about the ones inside your own home. Yeah, it's hard. I definitely have had, it's an emotional roller coaster. I mean, one day I wake up and I'm like, this is a great idea. Yeah. We're feeling good. It's a good day. And then the next day, a couple days are just complaints or issues or, major issues sometimes pop up or crashing. And so that really gets to me. So I'm really working on, trying to separate and really have to remind myself what's in my control and what's out of my control. Yeah. So even I'm not a developer. So if I can't get a hold of my developer, which he's very, very good at responding, but if it's a Sunday night or, what can you expect?
And so I used to just totally freak out, because I am not the best at handling my stress. And so I'm slowly trying to just stay calm, detached, and be like, you know what? I cannot control this. Like, I'm doing my very best, and that's all I can do today. Just reminders. Also, just having support from like business advisors. Ooh. When things are getting bad. Yeah. or stressful.
So you find those in the local community?
Yeah.
Mentors, role models?
Yeah, mentors, role models, and other investors in PicklePlay. Okay. So it's not just us funding it. We have larger investors. And when things are, where do we go next? Or what does this look like? Or, how
do we grow?
What does round 4 look like for PicklePlay? And how does that work? I'm very, very thankful. So I have partnered with Franklin Sports, the CEO of Franklin Sports.
Okay, so that they are a manufacturer of all sorts of stuff, right? Yeah. Like baseball, different sports.
So they're a huge sports company.
Franklin, that's a huge, huge name.
They actually came on board with PicklePlay this last
Very
summer.
Cool.
So
congratulations. That had to be a freaking huge moment for you.
Yeah, yes, it is. Yeah, and so actually pretty cool if you go to Target, Cedar Falls, Walmart.
All right.
Cedar Falls or Waterloo.
Listen up.
Okay.
Because a lot of the listeners are Cedar Falls, Waterloo, Cedar Valley people.
So check it out. It's pretty awesome. At your local Target, Walmart, Dick's Sporting Goods, they're in 40,000 retail stores. Wow. But they're beginner paddle sets. They're like $19.99. Just a good, hey, I want to play pickleball.
I love it. Yeah.
I'm not going to be great. I've never really played, but I just want to play or my kids want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our PicklePlay icon you're going to see on the packaging and the QR code to download our app.
Hell yeah. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's a huge win for us. So
huge.
That's just hitting the shelves. So we don't even know yet how many downloads we can get from that. Like we're trying to get to 100,000 downloads. We're at 62 or 63 right now.
Very cool.
So anyone in the Cedar Valley.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
or whoever listening. Works worldwide. Yeah. But even just their beginner paddle sets, their beginner net sets, about 3 products right now are right at Target or Walmart.
Very cool. So. I got a very close buddy who's been on my case about, I don't want to spend that much money on a Howlbrook paddle because I don't even know if I like it.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
So we recommend, I honestly recommend, I don't recommend the wooden paddles necessarily, even though that's the history of pickleball. That's how it started. Probably in gym class, you played with wooden paddles.
That's cool too.
Go get a cheap paddle. Yeah. You get 2 paddles and 2 balls at Target for $19.99.
Heck yeah.
Just hit around with your kids or your family or friends.
An active gift for under $20. I like where we're at, Blake.
So my kids get invited to a birthday party.
You know what we're giving them.
You know what you're going to get.
I love
it. And the app icon's right there. So go ahead.
Hell yeah.
But it's a great gift, honestly. It's a great gift. And so, and it's cheap. It's affordable. Just see if you like the sport. Yeah. Just go out there, have fun, find a court, use our app. But then, obviously, if you do want to get more competitive, you are going to need a better paddle. Yeah. So it goes in stages.
Heck yeah.
So,
for wherever you're at.
Start cheap. Just see if you like it. If you're going to play a couple times a year, it doesn't matter. If you want to start playing regularly, you are going to we do have other recommendations.
Heck yeah. I love that. Yeah, I've been asked now that had Cam on, and everybody I know plays pickleball.
Yeah. Do you not play?
I have never.
You've never played?
I've never picked up a paddle and tried. But so when I had that, I know, right? I gotta get
I didn't know that.
involved, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't think down
We
on
could
me,
have
boy.
just went out to the court today.
We will, I promise. I've been saying to Cam, I'm taking him. So Jessup, I have a friend there as well.
Okay.
Another podcast guest who's setting up in his town pickleball nets so that his small community can play.
Okay. We need him on our app.
Absolutely. We'll get it squared away, Blake, I promise.
Anyone can add a court to our map screen. You just literally go to the map and click the plus icon.
Hell yeah.
So
look how easy that was,
it's
Josh.
Easy.
Yeah, I love it. Very good.
Fun.
Yeah, so I've been telling Cam I'm going to take him to Jessup and bet on him and clean house of everybody in Jessup. I'm just kidding. But I want to play, so it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Cam would teach you. I'd be happy to teach you.
Very good. We'll definitely
your family,
have to facilitate that. Heck yeah. So when we I want to talk about a little bit about the role models and the people that you have surrounding you to help you do this.
Yeah.
Because would it be possible by yourself?
No.
No. Yeah.
No.
How do you decide who's in it to help you and help Blake and who's in it for themselves?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm very thankful. There's a lot of people that I know and trust that give me quality advice. So I feel like everyone in my circle is really in it for the good of myself and PicklePlay, right?
Yeah.
So again, I have some investors here locally that are prominent, successful business people, individuals that have in different industries, but have really good life experience.
Yeah.
And so very grateful that even if it's for a 5-minute call or, I can say, hey, here's what's going on. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I need your help. Like, you maybe haven't been here for pickleball, but you've been here in other business circumstances. So I get really good advice. My husband's like, go. Like, he's like, we're just not even going to talk about the negative stuff. We're just going to do it,
Yeah.
So he keeps me, like, going.
Heck yeah,
even if
that's
it
cool to
annoys
hear.
me at times or I'm like, I just want to be stressed out and mad. He's like, no, just go. Like, it's good. Like, we're like, keep going.
Everybody needs that balance.
Yeah, so we're polar opposites, but it's good.
Heck yeah.
We need each other. So I kind of bring him down. He kind of pushes me. We're kind of somewhere meet in the middle at
Heck
times. And then, just other people in the sport like Adam Franklin and people that are able to help give advice from a larger level.
And grow it. I never really realized. I mean, you put it out there and nobody hears it, so you tell people about it.
Yeah.
But then after that, it loses traction, and to get to the next step, that takes a lot of work.
Yeah. I've heard, we were a little naive and just new to things, but I've heard more recently. It's just amazing. I have just some wonderful connections and an app specialist out in California that's been advising me as well. And he connected me with someone, and, you have all these random conversations with pretty intelligent people
inside that network.
Yeah. And I've heard more and more recently, and had I known this, we probably wouldn't have done it, but it's really hard to build an app, and most apps fail. I mean, most of them do. And just like any new business, right? Statistically, most apps
do them before you start, sort of. Yeah. Percentages.
Yeah, and most don't get over 5,000 or 10,000. I mean, they just don't. It's very, very difficult. So who knows? I mean, we could still fail, honestly. We don't know, but we're gonna do everything we can.
Not with
and
the passion and heart.
We just feel like we're, somehow we're very thankful. We're over 60,000.
Hell yeah.
Just there's millions of pickleball players.
Yeah.
So
just got to get in front of them.
Yeah, just finding ways to get out there.
Yeah.
And
Hell yeah. Well, I love what you guys are doing. So do you foresee you're staying in Iowa in the Cedar Valley, or aren't we going to put that on? Being that it's so easily accessible in warm climate, how do you guys navigate the weather with pickleball here?
Oh, yeah. We're here for the long haul.
Hell
so,
yeah.
my husband's business is established here. Like, we're here. We love it here.
Very good.
It's where we want to raise our family. It's where we want to live. We're both from Iowa, so the weather is, terrible. But we're
some months, I mean, you can't play with 12 inches of snow on the ground.
Yeah. So we have some indoor options. We actually were able to build. We have like an indoor option actually at our place that
Very
we're able
cool.
to play pickleball at.
Hell yeah.
So it was going to be just a basketball hoop. And then we got in the thick of PicklePlay, and we decided to extend it so we could
You
have
had
it.
to.
Yeah.
I love that.
We're very thankful and blessed to be able to have that. So we are able to play year round.
Yeah.
But there's also wonderful places. The Cedar Falls Rec Center
Okay.
has indoor space and dedicated time for pickleball.
Okay.
The Sportsplex, the Fit Courts, the Blackhawk Tennis Club now has pickleball.
So if you're local and you're looking.
If you're local and you're looking.
Are all of those places that you mentioned on the PicklePlay app?
Yes, the locations are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the Cedar Falls Pickleball Club has set times that they play. The local YMCA they're trying to grow their pickleball base. They have 2 to 4 courts that play. Most places, when the weather's bad, have daily
Inside
play.
options, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
On gym floor, daily play.
So weather's not exactly an option here at all.
So
Unless you
it's
want
not.
need to
I mean,
play outside.
if you're a serious pickleball player like Cam,
Yeah.
you're gonna want
Yeah.
a dedicated surface, and we don't have that either. But you're gonna want a legit court, right? If you're training to be a top
Yeah,
level player,
yep.
but most people are just fine with
Having a good
wood
time.
floor.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people play. Yeah, they play in their. There's like a neighborhood that plays in their cul-de-sac.
Very cool.
They chalk it out or tape it out and
Yeah.
bring a portable net. So part of pickleball is you can play.
Accessible.
Yeah, you can play on your parking lot or you can play seriously.
Yeah,
So.
hell yeah. Now we talked a little bit about the partnerships. Why was it so important? You guys want to keep the app free. How do you do that?
Yeah. So again, it's a long-term plan.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Maybe we're crazy. I mean, every once in a while we're like, man, if we would just get $1 a download, that would help, right?
I have thought the same sort of things, but I also want to stray away from collecting money per play. That's not. I'm trying to do something huge. I'm trying to change the world by providing hopeful stories.
Yeah.
You guys are trying to do something bigger than the $1 right away.
Yeah.
But you have to have income to pay the bills.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So this has been a huge investment. So there's a lot into this.
Time, money,
energy, everything. But probably more than most people would even think,
Fathom.
So this is a large project, but pickleball is a new sport. It's growing. So, if outside people will say, let's just get $1 a person. Well, people are just getting into pickleball.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna pay for this.
Right.
Like they could Google, for parks and it'd take them a little bit more time. It would be a little roundabout way, but there's so many free resources and technology right now that to put a barrier of entry I need to pay, it's just gonna there's no way we'd be at 60,000 downloads right now. So,
absolutely.
And the sport, we want to be a good resource. We want to be helpful. So our long-term plan is we have an optional subscription. So we unlock, certain features.
Okay.
We're actually shooting some pretty cool videos here in the next couple of weeks. We're going to have a monthly tutorial video. Cam and some high-level players are going to be involved in that.
Yeah.
So just a little bit
just teaching you little tips, tricks.
Yeah, we have a how to play pickleball video.
Yeah.
So
I've actually seen that one with Cam.
Yeah. Yep. So we have a how to play pickleball. It's right on our home screen of the app and it's on our website. That's great for teaching the basics, but if you download our app, more than likely you know a little bit about pickleball.
You're trying to play.
And so, we're going to have a monthly tutorial video. We have a monthly message from Tyson McGuffin that's going to be unlocked. Just ways to improve your game. So we're excited about that. We're using, going to be shooting that soon, and that should be out by this summer. So our subscription is $1.99 per month or $19 a year.
A year, yeah.
So it's not
outrageous,
super expensive. Adding your events to your phone calendar, you say you're going to something, but I want it on I live on my calendar. My life would not function without my calendar. So just little things like that. And then we have ad revenue. So we're just working with
people inside the industry.
People in the industry that want to get their product out to people. So we have
grow.
Yeah, we have our weekly email that goes out. That goes out to thousands of pickleball players, so we can really share products that we recommend and
information.
Yeah.
So
advertising in the subscription is
how we're doing it now.
How we're doing it and how it's no secret we're not fully monetized yet. It's going to take time. So
I mean, there are so many things that don't happen overnight that we never give credit to, you know?
Yeah.
And in today's society where instant gratification is the thing that rules our lives, it's so important to me to have somebody like you on who's willing to look at the big picture, forgo some of that instant gratification, the paycheck, the money right away. Yeah. We could go get jobs right now, entry level, and make $40,000 or $50,000. That would be really cool to put in our pockets.
Yeah, yeah.
But you don't get to do what you're doing now.
Yeah.
You don't get a chance at changing your life, you know?
Yeah.
So I really, really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. I keep joking. I was like, someday it'll be nice to get a paycheck.
I say the same damn thing.
A lot of people don't know that either. Like, people assume I get paid.
When you're working 40 plus hours a week and they're like, you're over at Pixel Labs all the time. And it's like, yep, for free.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, you're hiring childcare for a job you don't get paid for.
People,
But, you know, it's just part of,
we have a dream.
Being an entrepreneur. Right?
You got to take the chance. That's part of the hard thing.
Yeah, you have to do what it takes. So,
I love that, Blake.
Yeah, so we'll see what comes of it. And, yeah, we're really excited for the future. We have a lot of good things happening now. It's just, you know, take a couple steps forward, couple back.
Fall back a little bit forward. The life of an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And then add in those 4 kids. It's a busy world, huh?
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about creating the PicklePlay app, some of the struggles of maintaining that balance, which everybody can relate to, why you love PicklePlay and the app so much. And I just think that people are really going to be able to relate to all the things that we talked about. You don't have to be an entrepreneur to be able to relate what we talked about being a busy parent.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you taking the time. You also rescheduled for me. I was a little bit sick, and I've never rescheduled an episode, and you took time out of your calendar twice for me, so I really appreciate that, Blake.
Oh, no problem. I reschedule.
You roll with the punches.
I know how
Hell
it goes. Yep.
Yeah.
We have to be flexible.
Hell yeah, you do. That's
great.
The name of the game. But before you get out of here, we have to take you to the firing range. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. The sponsor for this episode of The Firing Range is Mattress by Appointment Cedar Falls. It is located on University Avenue. Let Katie or Kelsey know that Nate sent you. Thank you, Katie and Kelsey, for supporting the podcast. Blake, the first one for you is, do you see the glass half full or half empty?
Do I have to answer honestly?
Yes.
I'm a half empty girl. I
appreciate the authenticity.
You know, I just have to. I'm half empty, and then I have to
work towards half full.
I click it in.
I love that.
Let's shift it, but my initial is half empty, and then I gotta push
That's
over.
the most authentic answer I've ever got on the firing range, and I appreciate the shit out of it. Guacamole or salsa?
Guac.
City or country? What you taking? Are you a city girl or country girl?
Oh my goodness! I grew up in the country, but I would say I'm more city now.
I like it.
Yep.
Would you tend to want to work in a group project, or are you working solo?
Group.
Coffee or tea drinker?
Coffee. Love
All
coffee.
right. Where's the coffee spot? Local coffee spot.
I hit up Sidecar too often, but I love all coffee.
Anyone,
I love
to
make my own coffee. I love it all.
Oh yeah. Organized or are you a mess?
Oh, I'm a mess.
Are you flying or are you driving?
Flying.
Winters or spring?
I just sat outside. Sorry, I'm not very quick at
That's
this.
okay.
Winter, because I just sat outside in soccer this weekend.
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
like terribly cold and
froze
windy
and
terrible.
rain.
So I'd rather just be in winter.
Are you playing singles or are you playing doubles when you play pickleball?
Doubles.
Would you rather be, this is the last one, the richest in the world or the smartest in the world?
Smartest.
Hell yeah. Now, go out to Target, get yourself the $19 starter pack so that we can play pickleball.
Yes.
And download the PicklePlay app.
Yes. Thank you so much.
No worries.
This is
Thank
awesome.
you so much for your time. Like I said, I understand the struggle of juggling it all, and I really admire what you're doing. And the longevity, the sight that you see, I'm all about it.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you, Blake. I appreciate that.